Now let's turn to other world news. And police in Afghanistan say at least 3 people have died in a blast in the southeastern region of Khost province. There's been no claim of responsibility so far. The attack comes just days after the US and the Taliban signed an agreement in Doha aimed at ending the nearly 2-decade war in Afghanistan. Let's get the latest from Hoda Abdelhamid, who's in Kabul for us. So what more are you hearing about this attack, and who do we think is behind it, Hoda?
Well, what we know about the attack is that there was a blast near a stadium in the Khost province, and according to the Interior Ministry, 3 people were killed and 7 others injured. Now, we don't know who is behind that attack. It could be some spoilers. There are several armed groups operating in this country who were against the deal between the Taliban and the US that you mentioned, signed in Doha 2 days ago. But even if it were the Taliban, that does not breach the agreement, because in that agreement, the Taliban have to hold off from attacking any foreign troops, any military bases where you have foreign and Afghan troops, any government institutions here in Kabul and in the provincial capitals. But the ongoing war and against security forces, that is not part of the deal. And the Taliban had said earlier in the day, even though it's not confirmed, but there were reports that they said that the truce they had over the past week, which was the week leading to that agreement, is now over, and they will resume their normal operations against Afghan targets.
Right, but there are reports that the Afghan Taliban, Hoda, are threatening not to go to these intra-Afghan talks, to the talks with the government, if their fighters, 5,000 of them, aren't released.
Yes, there are reports about that. We haven't been able to confirm this. We reached out to the Taliban. They said they will get back to us. There is no official statement on their own website, which usually that's how they communicate to the outside world. But it could be very possible that someone said that. I mean, certainly the Taliban who are here in Afghanistan, according to these reports, and that would be probably in response to what the Afghan president Ashraf Ghani said yesterday. Basically, he started the day by saying, well, the release of detainees has nothing to do with us. We did not commit. The agreement in Doha was signed between the US and the Taliban, but those detainees are in Afghan jails, and this is a matter of Afghan sovereignty. He went on to say that any kind of concession of that sort should be negotiated during the intra-Afghan talks, if those happen indeed on March 10th as scheduled. Now, it could be that the Taliban were replying to that. I think at this point, we will probably have U.S. envoy Zalmay Khalilzad working the phones, if he's not already in Kabul, to basically put pressure on both sides to try to take a step back and try to reach some sort of agreement. But at the moment, there is a lot of posturing from both sides. I would say it started from the Afghan government side, and that would be a response from the Taliban.
Hoda, thank you for that update. Hoda Abdelhamid, live for us in Kabul.